Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. So it's official. We're live. It's spring. We are sequestered. And here's Eenor. And we're doing it right on Saturday. I got my dream pajama sweatshirt on. Eenor, guys. Kitty pajamas on. Wow. And last night we had our crazy party spring yoga. And this Saturday morning, I'm inviting us into something a little more steady. So we'll do a little more what's called hatha yoga, or more of a steady, longer holds kind of practice with the tantric philosophy as our focus of really being with what is sitting in the fire. Look, people here are joining, so I think they're seeing it. Um, So yeah, tantra, as you know, like in the neo tantra, is very much about slowing down and eye gazing and soft, slow touches and being with one another. And this comes on all the neo tantra practices, like a little branch on the tree of tantra. And so the tantric practice is very much about being with what is, slowing everything down, feeling into the essence, the rasa, the juice of life. And because so often as humans, we're blocking out what we don't want and we're rushing after what we really do want. And we have a million things going in the monkey mind and all that. Are you pointing to this back here? Yeah, little map of consciousness there. So there's consciousness and the human mind and all of the chakras or the energy centers and how everything's always going to and from all of that. So that's a mind map from Nepal, from the tantric tradition. Thank you, Christopher Tompkins, for bringing that big piece of art to us from back in the day. And yeah, so that's what we're looking at today. And this is about, it's coming from observing myself as I sit in meditation or don't sit in meditation because I'm feeling the impulses that we have when things are hard to get escapist. You know, I'm definitely doing some kind of panic eating, panic cooking, and a little more wanting to check out, like, let's just get high and forget everything. Okay, fine, life. And, you know, watching things and just all the ways that we kind of check out a little bit. And it's okay. Sometimes we need to check out a little bit and all of it. So the other part of all of it is really being with it, sitting in the fire and the discomfort of what is. I know for lots of us right now, we're away from our beloveds, we're away from our usual sources of support and joy and nourishment and touch and fun. And so that can be really painful, and not knowing when we're going to see them again, all that. It's difficult, it's scary, and yeah, we might want to run away from it. And this morning, I want to invite us all to really be in it together. So, to begin with, have any seat that feels comfortable for you, to have a nice tall spine. Ideally, you're sitting up on something a little bit so the legs can be relaxed, or support your legs as needed. And give a little press down into the earth, root down, and lift your spine tall. Bring awareness to your spine. Does it feel achy at all to lift it tall from the night or from lack of movement or gravity that just wants to pull us all down? Wow, does it feel to simply just that? Press in to the earth, lift up, tall spine. Give a pressing down and away with your feet and your sit bones, and a little hug of your core that you can feel the smaller muscles along the spine engage and light up. Maybe they're like, what? We're just hanging out. And yeah, good morning. Good morning, spine. Good morning, strong body. Good morning to the supports that hold us every day, all the time, whether or not we notice. Let's take notice today of the supports that are holding us, the steadiness of this beautiful planet, the nourishment and abundance, the beauty blossoming, sprouting all around us of this beautiful planet, the wisdom and the observance of nature that's available, the teachings of all things having a life cycle, dying away and returning. And so it is, we're in a time of living under something, if you will, that has a life cycle that we don't know. So we don't know quite how long this situation is going to last. And it's not up to us to know. As humans, we don't actually have control. What we do have control over is how we show up moment to moment. And today I invite you to show up fully for yourself and for whatever is present in your body for just an hour, or just 5 minutes, or however long you want to stay connected here. Let's connect to yourself, to the layers of yourself, feeling your bones and musculature rooting into the earth and lifting up tall. Lift the heart center, lift your sternum, let the shoulders melt onto your back. And slide your ears back over the shoulders and let the whole spine move back in space a bit. Feel how you're held, you're supported by the unseen, that spine back there holding you up. You know it's there. And in the same way, your breath, long, slow breaths, feeling the great mystery of the breath constantly being poured into your body and flowing back out into the universal. And we can let that happen all day without noticing it. And notice how, as you notice the breath, it naturally deepens and lengthens, becomes fuller and more delicious. Let's be with the breath for a moment. Notice the breath making space in your body, creating little areas of stretch or expansion. And the breath washing out of your body areas of tension or lethargy or dullness, and bringing aliveness with each breath into the body, feeling areas of light and expansion being lifted. And as you exhale, imagine any tension or stagnancy just washing away as we become more present for ourselves, for all layers of being here, now, steadiness. And sense your physical form even more fully, how it's moved by the breath, how it's held by the earth and your spine. How we just begin to invite and allow a softening of the physical form over the strength of your core and your spine. And notice where there's tension, where there's holding of fear or sadness or resistance, frustration against what is right now. Can we allow ourselves to really feel what's being held there without storing it so it doesn't get perpetuated and held even more, but just noticing, yes, I have sadness for missing my beloveds. I have sadness for it being the birthday of so many of my beloveds and I can't see them or touch them. I have sadness and empathy and compassion for those whose birthday it is, who wish they could be surrounded by their beloveds. Here we are. Here we are. You're surrounded. You're held. We're all held in a wider embrace than usual. Nonetheless, notice the pain, the sadness, the longing that may be present. Feel whatever wants to rise and well up as tears, as emotion, as sensation. Notice as the emotion arises, maybe there's a feeling in your body of wanting to curl into it, or of pain or tension that makes us want to shake or move or run away, whatever it might be. Notice. As I feel some of my sadness, I feel tension in the back of the skull as I notice that tension and as I allow my heart to fill up and to be washed in my sadness. As I really allow that to happen, feel a tingling and a moving through the body of both sadness as well as a soothing. And as I observe that, there's a dissipation and a new sensation arises, an opening of light, of hope, an opening of strength and resilience, knowing my own ability to persevere, to learn from challenge and struggle, being with what is. We are offered the gift of seeing what might be, of experiencing and knowing beyond words, the pratibha, of our own okayness. It's always there beneath those places that we don't feel okay. We remember our truth, steady, easy, unbreakable. I invite you to bring one or both hands to your heart. See if you can sense your heartbeat. Let the vibrations of the music that Eenor is creating for us, with love, with intention to soothe and to hold, to open our awareness beyond our pain or struggle or fear. Open our awareness to the greater vibrations where we all connect. The great web of consciousness that we're being held in which our lifetimes are but a minute or a blink, and of which this pause is so very brief. Feel your heartbeat, your precious, precious heartbeat, each one a gift. And imagine breathing into your heart in your inhale, lighting up your heart's yes. And if you will, with me, begin to really let your jaw hang and be soft. And open your throat wide and easy. Imagine a clear channel between your heart, your throat, your jaw, your head, up through your crown, out into the world. Brahmarandra, connection to the divine, to the great, infinite, your highest self. And if you will, breathe with me, vibrating your heart and connecting to the great vibration of all that is with a sound of awe. Exhale and empty. Inhale, big hard breath. Oh. be soft into your hands. Feel into this watery bowl of your being, your belly, and your pelvis, your creativity, your sensuality, your emotions, your sexuality. May we allow some of our awareness to rest in this bowl today, and to feel all of our feelings so fully, and maybe be inspired to garden or paint or write or sing or dance an expression of the feelings, this life force that wants to move through us, and noticing where maybe the heart or the mind tells us, oh no, that fear, that sadness, that mourning, whatever it might be, we don't want to feel that. Those are bad things. Let's run away from that. No, no, no. Let's sink into the tantric experience of this, to the full experience of this. Feeling whatever's present, your sadness, your longing, your desire. In the same seat here as your creativity, your life giving force, your ability to transmute, to give birth, to feel fully, to let move through you and be born an expression of your aliveness, your all of it, your ability to hold the hope and the fear at the same time, the sadness and the joy at the same time, your fullness and your emptiness at the same time. Feeling whatever's present, the big round O of the universal, the O of the Ganesha belly, the O of your wailing, the O of your delights. Breathing your belly, big full breaths, long O's, exhale and empty. Breathe, feeling all of it. Breath awareness into your third eye center, your center of visioning, of dreaming, of imagining, of connecting to the divine, the infinite, beyond this ephemeral world, into that which we know, which we sense but do not see, and this perceived reality. What can we imagine into this at this time? What are we imagining into that's maybe perpetuating fear or tension? Let's acknowledge those things and maybe wash, dissolve, or compost and transmute them with the vibrations of what we would wish they would turn into. A connected world of humans slowing down and seeing one another. A connected world with less pollution and more care and attention to the nature, to her thriving. A connected world where the animals are free, where humans are vibrantly healthy, where we care for one another, where we take precautions to hold and support one another, where we stand in solidarity against injustice, where we create balance and harmony. Breathing into your vision, your yes, feeling whatever tangle might be present in the mind, as well as whatever light or inspiration or opening might be there. The bee's breath, Baramari, like the end of the Om, along NG, vibrating in the head, the lips stay open. Exhale and empty, inhale to your pineal gland, your third eye, your mind center. Sensing into the mud of the earth, to the good verdant spring mud, where all the rains and the darkness of winter are meeting and brewing up, meeting with the kiss of the sun, the sky, and the winds, pollinating, clearing away whatever blocks the sun, and welcoming the arising of new life, sprouting, blossoming, and opening up out of the unseen, the dark, the unknown, into what's possible, what's now, what's here. We blossom from the mud of our own hearts, from our own confusion and loss and fear, into our own healing and creativity, into our own new beginnings and celebrations of life in new ways. Breathing your heart, I encourage you to press into your thumbs and pinkies at your heart center and blossom your heart open and imagine into the lotus of your body mind, growing new ways of being, growing a healing energy, growing a steadiness, an expansion of center in these times of turning in and cultivating steadiness. Pause. Breathing into that Om, the foundation of our being, and the Hring, the vibration of our being. If you will, 6 breaths, alternating Om, foundation, and Hring, becoming or blossoming. Exhale and empty. Inhale your heart. Cultivating our ability to hold and let flow all of it, all of life, holding steady in the balance of the light and dark, the yin and yang, the known and unknown, the outward moving and the inward moving, finding our equilibrium, our equanimity at this time of the equinox, at this time of sequestering. great mystery and solidarity around the world. And slow the hands down. Make your way into plank pose. Yes. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Catherine Ariel, thank you for sharing information. Thank you for being present. Wow. Good morning. All right, steadiness. Today is our practice, steadiness and balance. Make your hands strong, spread the fingers wide, claw the earth. Turn your toes under and step the feet back. If at any point here you need to have one knee lowered down or both knees lowered down, please do. Finding plank pose, long, steady breaths, as much as you can, ears, shoulders, ribs, hips in alignment. Feel your strength here. If by any chance this is easy for you and you want to challenge it, lift one leg up. We are going to hold here. We're practicing steadiness. If by any chance that's still easy for you and you want to challenge it, one arm up, hold steady. Again, your options. Maybe one knee down, one leg up. Maybe one leg down, one leg up. So find your way, whatever's best for you right now. Long, steady breaths. 5 more. Being with the shaking, steady in the shaking, being with what is. Lengthen your breath out. Inhale, shift forward, exhale, and lower down to the earth. Press into your feet and stretch your legs back. With your hands under your shoulders, pull your elbows and shoulders down the back. Push into your pubic bone and sacrum and lift your navel, lift your heart, open up. Feel like you're trying to drag yourself forward. And now you know, if you've ever practiced with me, that usually I'm all like swirly here and rolling shoulders and pulsing in and out of it. And these things can be very helpful to clear the mind if you're new in the practice or just for those of us who like to dance. And I recommend that if you need that and maybe doing it different today. Practicing steadiness, push into the earth, root into your sacrum, feel your foundation, your strength, the ways that you're held and supported by your rooting into earth, by your lengthening and hugging into your spine. Feel the strength of earth, your spine, your breath, slow, deep, and steady here as you open the heart, reaching forward. And your pose may be way down here, close to the earth, all of you, and that's fine. And if you've got space, find an edge where there's breathful and no pain. Keep lengthening forward in long, steady breaths. Feel your rooting and how the more that strongly you root, the more brightly you might rise up. Keep the core engaged. Breathe your yes. One more round of breath. One more inhale, and as you exhale, lengthen down. Press into the hands and press back. Child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, and press your hips back to your heels. Stretch your spine long, arms forward. Or if you'd like, you can rest your arms on the lower back here. Hold one wrist with the other hand and breathe into that grounding sensation that that gives you. Long, slow breaths here. Simply breathful, or add Brahmari, bee's breath, 4 breaths Last inhale, unwind and drape up slowly. Walk the hands out and step your feet back, plank pose. Long, steady breath, steady in plank, ears, shoulders, ribs, hips in alignment. Let the breath be what's steady here. Let your awareness be what's steady. You might be shaking, you might be wobbling, that's okay. Steady in the breath, steady in your awareness. Notice the whole body mind, what's shaking, what's working, what's hanging out. And if there is a part of you hanging out, pull it in. Pull your hips up, pull the heart. Uh, don't pull your heart, soften your heart. Pull your shoulders onto the back. Engage in the core, soften your heart towards the earth. Hold steady here. If you did on the other side, lift up the opposite leg. Lift up the other arm. And long, steady breaths for 5. And if you're just joining us, there's lots of ways to modify that. You could have one knee down. You could just have one leg up. You can have many, many ways to modify it. Last inhale and shift forward and exhale and lower down. Again, make your legs very strong. Push into your foundation here. Root into the earth. Find those places of support that allow us more opening, including yoga's always doing this, the way that we're rooting into earth and finding stillness and strength gives the opportunity for a greater blossoming and a greater opening in this pose. And right now, at this time, as we are rooting, hunkering down, hiding out, we are given the opportunity to turn in, to have a contraction, a beneficial contraction that might enable us to open more, to blossom more, to come back out into the world with new inspiration, new ideas, new compassion, a greater love and appreciation, greater gratitude for all of the beauty and the wonder in our lives. Long, steady breaths, long, steady holds. Follow and exhale to move back, child's pose. Deep full breaths in child's pose as you press your hips back, hands forward, or again, maybe hold the hands on the lower back, maybe holding the opposite wrist this time. Rest your forehead and long, slow breaths here. Feeling whatever's present in the body mind. Feeling your breath. Simply breathful or 3 rounds of Brahmari, peace breath. Sorry about the plosives. And let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, hands out in front of you. Push into the palms and widen the shoulders as much as you can. Soften your heart down to the earth. Inhale and turn your toes under. And exhale, lift up and back, down dog. Pull from the core, relax your neck if your head a little nod or roll around. And long, steady breaths here in the nose, out the mouth. Relax your neck. Really use that core strength to pull your hips back. Push into the palms. Keep the shoulders widening. Feel that sensation that happens as you stretch and strengthen around the shoulders. Feel the strength of your core drawing you back so there's less weight and collapse. You're pulling up out of the shoulders. We're not collapsing into them. Shoulders are wide. Neck is soft. Steady breaths. Feel your body. Notice what's shaking, what's working, what's hanging out. Can you hug in and plug into center even more, making all parts of this pose as one? The struggle and the ease, the yum and the get me the heck out of here. 4 more breaths. Shuttle forward, knees down. Keep the toes curled under and roll on back to sit on your heels. Spread the toes out. Inhale and stretch the arms up. And exhale, lion's breath. Stretch your face out, tongue to chin, eyes to the sky. 3 more. And then give your toes a little tap out there. Come up to stand on your knees. If you need to, please pad your knees. My glasses and my microphone don't get along very well. Okay, I'm gonna be okay. All right. So maybe you have a block, or you imagine you have a block, and squeeze it high between your upper and inner thighs. Hug into that and pour the block back behind you. So at first, as you squeeze the block and pour it back, booty kind of sticks out, and then we want to even that out and lengthen your tailbone like you're plugging into the block. Notice if you do that a lot, block's gonna spin forward. And we want to find that middle place where you're spinning back, but you're lengthened and rooted, plugged in, and zip up pubic bone to belly button. Really engage strong in the core there. Even if you don't have a block, imagine you do and find that middle place for a neutral sacrum. Press the hips down and lift up out of the waist. Squeeze the elbows and shoulders on the back. Puff up your chest. Lengthen the spine in both directions. Now you can stay right here while squeezing shoulders. Really support the lower back so that you're lifting up out of it. Your toes could be under so your heels get closer. Or if you're more flexible, toes can stay released. Again, stay there or inhale, flow one arm up and back. Another arm up and back. And now notice if there's compression in the lower back and any uncomfort, then maybe you come up higher. Maybe the hands stay on the hips so you can push the hips forward and lengthen them out of the lower back. There should be a pretty even arch of the spine here. So there's no one area of collapse. Whatever point of contact you have for your hands, use that to help squeeze the shoulders on the back. Zip up strong through the core, lengthen your spine in both directions. Full breaths. Breathe your heart's yes here in this big, courageous opening at this time. Opening to spring. Opening to the new. Opening to what is. Keep the back of the neck long. Try not to collapse it. Unless the shoulders are really squeezed there, then you might get like kind of a pillow action for your head. Otherwise, chin tucks to not collapse anywhere. Lengthen the spine both directions. Couple more breaths. Follow your next inhale to hug in and lift up. You could keep your block, squeeze onto that, and bring the hands to the floor, and stretch back, downward dog. Spin your block back to the sky, pull back from your hips, lengthen out, strong core, long spine. Relax the neck. Breathe here. Inhale, kind of push the earth away, and exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the back, relax the neck. And keep pulling back from the navel, strong core. You can relax your neck. Long, steady breaths. Feel what's alive for you here, right now, in this pose today. Is there shaking? Is there a stretching? Is there a burning? There's a lot of effort happening. You're just kind of hanging out there. Maybe you can push into your hands and feet more, like you're trying to stretch your mat out in both directions. Maybe you can pull into the core more and hug in and really engage more in the pose. Scoop the elbows towards one another, wrap the shoulders away, relax your neck. And long, slow breaths here, deep, full breaths. Give us more, Eenor, because you can. 4 more breaths. Can you hold it for 4 more breaths? Okay, now that's just 3. 3 more breaths. Next exhale, if you've got a block, remove it. Bring the right foot forward and rest onto that right thigh. So you're going to go receptive here, or yin, and chest and shoulder rest on that thigh and reach the hands back and bow in. Let the neck be soft. With the head heavy and the neck soft here, likely you'll get a release in the cervical spine. You'll feel that tension of the connect of the spine all the way down to your psoas, that connection of the big stabilizing muscle that moves from the lower vertebrae around your hip, the front of your groin, into the inner thigh. So feeling that connection really. Invite yourself to be with it. Notice the parts of you that might want to run away from the intensity in the hip there. See if you can just melt into that a bit. Soft neck, hands can flow back behind you. Heavy torso on that right thigh and bend the knee deeply. Give your hips to the earth. Practicing being with what is here in the steadiness. Dang, Eenor is so used to making flow music. This is really good flow music. Resting on that front thigh. Pull the hip back as you straighten the leg. Chest on the thigh as much as you can. Leg as straight as you can. Spine as long as you can. So find that balance. And here, especially if you're tight, can be a great place to pulse. Bend the knee, get the spine flat, and then straighten the leg and let the spine round. And eventually we look to find a balance of both the long spine and the straight leg. Hugging in, melting over, bowing in. Long, steady breaths. Come on through, hands inside that front leg. Lift the back knee, squeeze strong into your core, and swoop that leg around, all the way around, side plank pose. Now you want that bottom hand a little forward of your shoulder. Bottom shin could be down, bottom forearm could be down. You could be here, you could be here, you could be here. On the forearm, on the legs, on the hand and the feet. Press on through, open up. Squeeze shoulders on the back, lengthen through tailbone. Lift through the heart. Long, steady breaths. Stay there, or if you're so inspired, you can pick that top knee up. Maybe even picking that top foot up. 5 more breaths. Come on back and bring that foot, the top foot, back forward into lunge. Inhale, and as you exhale, pull the back foot up into your core and level out. Warrior 3. Hands can be on a block, heart, hips, or flying as much as you can. Level out side to side. Press through the heel and stretch back. Long spine, breathful here. Engage the core, pull everything up and into the core. Shine out from there. 5 breaths. Step the feet together, sink into your seat, swoop the fingertips and open the heart up. Drop your seat low, Utkatasana. Lift the heart, seat low. Exhale, sink that seat as low as you can towards the height of the knees. Inhale and press and rise, standing back bend. Exhale and swan dive forward. Inhale and half forward fold. Exhale, place your hands and step or jump back plank. Yes, I can't help it. Here's a little flow. Inhale and exhale as you lower to the earth or chaturanga. Inhale up dog or cobra. Exhale up and back. Downward dog. Long steady breaths. In the nose, out the mouth. Stay in down dog as you like, or lower the knees down and roll on back to sit. Once again, we'll come back into Ustrasana, camel pose. Hands to the hips and press the hips down. Lift and lengthen up out of the waist. Again, maybe your toes are under. Maybe you're hugging a block, or imagine you're hugging a block. Squeeze onto the block and spin it back. Lengthen through tailbone, lift through the navel. Long, steady breaths here as you lengthen your spine in both directions. Open your heart to the sky, supported. Stay there with the support of your hands and the engagement of your core, or lead with the opposite arm, flow it back. You can come back to your hips or back to your heel. Again, back toes could be under to support yourself there as needed. Use whatever point of contact you have to rebound off of, push down and lift the heart and squeeze the shoulders on the back and lengthen your spine in both directions in long, steady breaths here for 5. Sense into the aliveness in your body, both the places of struggle and the places of pleasure happening at the same time. Where can you connect all the parts to struggle less, to spread that pleasure out? This is what we're doing for each other right now. This is what we're doing for our bodies right now. Big inhale as you exhale, come on forward. Squeezing that block or imaginary block, spin it back and up and back. Downward dog. Pull back from the core in downward dog. Inhale, lift the hips up and back. Press into the hands, press into the feet, and stretch your mat in both directions. And then hug in, pull the shoulder blades down the back, melt the heart. Lift the navel, hug into the core. Reach the tailbone out through the heels. Relax the neck. Long, steady breaths here. Last inhale as you exhale. Let's bring that left foot forward and rest the chest onto that left thigh. Walk the back knee back or the front foot forward and really give your left chest and shoulder to that left thigh. You might stretch the hands back behind you. And again, let the head be as heavy as you can, soft neck. And turn in, heavy head. Front knee bends deeply. Melting the hips towards the earth. Soft jaw, soft tongue. Breathe. Full body breath, feeling both the sensational areas and the quiet areas. See if you can make paths with your mind, with your sensing or seeing between those intense areas and the areas that maybe aren't talking to you right now, but can we connect? Places of ease and places of struggle or challenge, places of intensity, and places that are feeling pretty mellow and receptive. Stay connected to your front thigh and stretch that leg back, stretch your hips back, draw the toes back. And again, it's a nice opportunity to pulse a little vinyasa. If you'd like, you could bend the knee, get the spine as flat as you can, and then straighten the leg, let your spine round, and play with that. Pulsing between the two, or just really looking to balance out. Pull that hip back, pull the low back in, reach the heart forward, spine and leg as long as you can, and melting over one another, connecting, just bowing into yourself. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. I'm going to flip myself. Don't mind if you're watching, just for the view as we transition soon. Last breath cycle there. Come back forward with an inhale, hands inside that front leg, wide as the shoulder, back knee up, and squeeze, strong core, and float that left leg or your front leg around, and find your side plank. Again, side plank, many options. Maybe you're pushing through the feet and you're on the hand. Maybe you're mellowing it out. Bottom shin can be on the floor. Bottom forearm can be on the floor. Both or just one of those. We're getting on the hands. Top foot could be a kickstand. Many ways about this. Many ways to take a little weight off of that. And for now, scoop shoulder blades down the back, lengthen tailbone, and breathe in whatever variation of this pose is right for you right now. Maybe holding steady here or reach for that knee. Maybe holding steady there or reach for the foot. 5 more breaths. Please stay as you like, or bring that top foot back forward into your lunge. Inhale in your lunge, and as you exhale, pull the back foot up into the core, balancing warrior three. Keep hugging to center, muscles to bones, everything to midline as much as you can. And push through the back heel and the crown of the head. Lift the shoulders on the back, level your hips out. 5 breaths. Last inhale as you exhale, step the feet together, sink in, swoop the fingers, open up, Utkatasana, lift the heart, and sink the weight low into the seat, weight back into the heels. 5 breaths. Exhale and sink low. Follow your inhale to press and rise, standing back bend. Exhale and swan dive forward. Inhale, half forward fold. And exhale, fold. Place your hands and step or jump back, plank pose. Inhale, strong core and plank. And exhale, slow and steady to the earth or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, up and back, downward dog. Long, slow breaths in down dog or in child's pose. Last 3 breaths. And let's bring your feet wide, wide-legged forward fold. Feet wide, spin the thighs back. Feel like you're trying to pull the feet towards one another. Keep spinning thighs back and bow into your forward fold. You could hold the toes or your ankles. You could walk the hands back behind you. Head could rest on a block or on the earth. Find that balance between long spine and stretch in your legs. So maybe if you're stretchier in the legs, give the spine length, you need to walk the feet a little closer. And find what's right for you. Really bow in here. Get the spine as long as you can. Activity in the arms. Legs feel like they're trying to pull together the whole time, but they're not moving. Strong in your legs. Soft neck. Relax the head. Deep, full breaths. Last few breaths here. Lengthen them out. And walk the hands forward. Step the feet together and pull the feet in. Let's come to sit. So again, if you're just joining us or if you usually practice with me and you're finding me being very still today, yeah, that's what we're doing. Today we're doing a little practice of being with what is, finding our balance, equilibrium, equanimity in this equinox moment, in this sequestered moment for most of us, not all of us, I know. Taking pause to be with what is. Taking pause to feel the fullness of this moment. All of the challenge, all of the blessings. Let's bring the feet together here and the knees wide. Give a little pull onto your ankles and lift your heart brightly. And here you could butterfly the knees a bit, soft jaw. Stretch out your jaw. I have an ankle sprain residual here still, so you may see me cheat out of this pose a bit. Ankle sprains tend to last a long, long time. So here I am just really working this leg a little higher to get my ankle straight and strong. So you could always put a blanket or something under if you do have any ankle or knee stuff going on. Support your legs, don't force them. Even though I want to get that yummy hip opening feeling, more importantly here, I'm taking care of that ankle. And there's still some hip opening, great. So using the elbows, press those thighs wide and move lower back in, heart forward, and long, slow breaths here. It may not be that moving forward is right for you. Maybe just being in this pose and working the spine tall and the knees wide is good. For most of us, as I am here, you should be sitting up on a blanket or a block or pillow, whatever you need, so that the seat's lifted a little, so the pelvic bowl can pour forward. Unless your thighs are resting on the earth, you're fine. Long, slow breaths. And stay with that as is right for you. Stay with that or push into your feet. Bring the hands behind you, fingers turn away, hands as wide as the shoulders. Press into the hands, squeeze the shoulders, lift your heart. Press into the feet and maybe squeeze your glutes a bit. Lift the hips and open up. And as you come back down, you might move your prop out of the way unless you need it for a tight hip situation. We're going to come into a seated twist. Hug into that top knee and wiggle into your sit bones. Lift the spine, lengthen up out of the waist. Push down into the earth, lift tall. Long, slow, steady breaths here. And following the inhale to hug in and lift taller. Use that hand that you're turning towards to support the lift of the spine. Opposite arm comes up and over and hook elbow or tricep. Inhale, push down into all points of contact. And exhale, squeeze to center. Spiral around your strong center. Look behind you. Breathe your twist. Three more breaths. Follow your inhale to unwind. Open up and counter twist. Press into that leg, lift tall, inhale. And stay open here, upright or bow into the earth. And push your hips back, rest your head. And follow an inhale to press and drape up. And stack your knees up. If you need to extend the lower leg out, Knees stacked, sit up higher on something so the pelvic bowl can pour forward. So if your knees are up high and the spine's really rounded here, please sit up higher so you can get the knees stacked, whether or not the lower leg's extended. And then maybe press into the feet or the earth next to you and wiggle your hips back as you really pour the bowl of the pelvis forward. Get the lower back in, pull onto the knees, lift the heart up. There should be zero sharp knee pain here, so support your hips or your shins so that the ankles are straight and strong and the pelvic bowl can pour forward. Long, slow breaths here. Stay with that, or if you are so inspired, we'll add the arm. Same arm as your top leg is over the top. Give yourself a big, big hug. Cross the arms over as much as you can. Reach back around your shoulders. Maybe give yourself a little palpation there, a little massage. Pull the elbows down, ground. Receive your hug. This is a nice place to stay. Getting the comfort of when we cross our limbs over ourselves. Stay with that, or maybe reach the elbows forward and rest on the knees. You could let the head rest there. If you've got more room in the shoulders, maybe spiral the arms, eagle arms, elbows up, shoulders down, hands away from the face, and reach the elbows forward to rest on the knees, head in the hands, or elbows hook forward of the knees, head in the arms. Long, slow breaths. Bow into yourself. And if you feel like you want to run away here, if there's intensity, besides sharp pain in the knees, if there's sharp pain in the knees, run away. Otherwise, being with sensation, being with what is, noticing the heat, the burning, the shaking. Maybe there's emotional stuff in there. Maybe wiggle it or give it a little percussion with your hands or a little massage. Or maybe you can rest in Kayastarium, in relative stillness. And just breathe into what's there. Feeling the discomfort without labeling it bad. Feeling the intensity without needing to run away from it. How's your jaw, your tongue? How's your shoulders? Notice if you're clenching against the sensation. Notice if you're gripping. See if you can breathe right into that and just allow it to melt away a bit. And a bit more. Every breath, imagine a washing, melting away of gripping or resistance. A softening into receiving, being with, fully being with what is. Last couple breaths. And follow an inhale to unwind the arms, give the neck, shoulders, mouth a little roll out as you come up. And you're welcome to transition any way you like, or I invite you into this playful little flowy moment between our steadiness and stillness today. Hands on either side of that top foot. Press into the feet, press into the hands, straighten the legs, and open out. Maybe they're in center. You pause, give a little booty shake to the camera, hey, or a little knee wash. Get the knees fluid again. And then keep going in the direction that you're going, drawing a full circle, 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 feet pivot, 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 legs come with you all the way around until you're sitting for a second side twist. And hug in to your top knee and wiggle into your sit bones. Root down to lift tall, lengthen, and long. Slow breaths. Rooting to rise. Again, notice how the more you work that earth, the more you work that grounding and really root down and take this pause, this steadiness, the more there's naturally a lift of the spine and support to find the spiral, the opening, the freedom that goes for this pose and this shelter in place. Hook that elbow or tricep. Inhale, push down and root into all points of contact. Root into your stability and lift up out of that and find your freedom to spiral, to twist, to take a new perspective. Any variations in your twist, welcome. Wherever you're at, long, slow breaths. Breathe your yes. Let the breath wash the spine and wash the organs. Lost 2 or 3 breaths here. Follow your next inhale to unwind. Lift tall, counter twist, press into the legs, and lengthen up. And stay upright with that, or bow in, push your hips back, rest the head. Inhale and press and drape up, and stack your knees up. Second side, again, you might extend the lower leg. You might sit up higher with your hips higher so the pelvis can pour forward and the legs can rest. Wherever you're at, give a little, maybe press into your feet, wiggle hips back so the pelvis pours forward. Pull onto your knees, lift the lower back in, heart up, shoulders on the back. Big breath as you land here. Soft jaws, you really let the hips land and the weight into the back body so you've got neutral spine. It's a great place to stay and again be with what is. Or reach the arms up. Same arm as your top leg swoops over the top. And give yourself a big, big hug. Wrap the arms around. A little free massage moment there if you want to palpate the fingertips around your shoulder blades. Or just hold and pull the elbows down. Receive your hug. Receive your own hug. I really encourage you to hug yourself more at this time, to hug trees, hug those around you, of course, and hug yourself. Receive your hug. What does it feel like to hold yourself tenderly, with care, with pause, with receptivity, not a mechanical movement, but as you would hug one that you love who is hurting? Please stay with that, or you could reach the elbows forward and rest into it, or spiral the arms, eagle arms, elbows up, shoulders down, hands away from the face, and reach forward from the low back and the elbows. Rest the elbows on the knees, head in the hands, Or maybe hook the elbows over the knees, head in the arms. Soften your jaw, relax your neck. Notice if you're gripping against sensation. See if you can let go and melt into that sensation. Notice the tapes of old stories that may be holding against emotion. Just energy. There should be zero sharp pain in the knees. Everything else, just sensation here. Breathe into it. Can you rest in that fire? Can you stay steady in the burn? Can you notice the want to run away or grip against what's happening and instead melt into it? What moves as you surrender and melt? Go in, curious. What gifts are there? What space can you make in the body-mind with your breathful awareness? Long, slow breath, soft jaw, soft tongue. A few more breaths. Take your time as you're ready. Press in, drape up. Give your neck, shoulders, mouth a nice slow roll out. Your jaw. Shift the weight back and extend your legs out. And let's give a little windshield wiper to your legs here. Lift your heart. And straight, strong legs. Knees can be bent if you need. Pull the heels towards you. Again, sit up on something if forward folding gives a little pull to the lower back at all. We really want our forward folds to be coming from the pelvic bowl, rolling forward as much as you can. And inhale and lift from the lower back in, arms up. And maybe the hands just come down and pull on the legs or the earth and get the shoulders on the back and lift the heart. And maybe you can walk out a little further and rest elbow and fist and head. Maybe lengthen more. Again, you could use a block or a pillow or anything here to rest your forehead. But resting the forehead as we turn in, it's going to let the neck muscles relax, which is going to let the mind relax more. So I really suggest that you find either just sitting tall in upright spine so the neck is neutral and not working, or if you're moving forward, any setup where you can support the head so the neck muscles are soft, and bow into yourself. Your edge of that forward fold, no one's looking, nothing to prove. Where do you feel a little stretch in the spine, in the legs, but equally a powerful push down of the musculature in the legs and a powerful lengthening forward of the musculature along the spine. And rest inward, resting your head at wherever your edge is at this point today. It might be very different than it was some other days, so don't try to go where you've gone before. Be where you are, here, now, today, this moment. What's present? What resistance? What wanting to run away or numb out? What can we just be with today? As painful as it might be, can we reframe pain not as tragedy, not as a bad thing, not as something to escape, but part of being human, part of the all of it, of living fully, sensation, a feeling of loving, a feeling of missing, of longing, a feeling of loss, of fear, at the same time as noticing the melting, the pleasure, the precious gift of pause, of turning in, of listening, full body breath, full body awareness, embrace the whole of your body mind with your breathful awareness. And last couple breaths there. Please stay longer if something's arising from you and just be there. Otherwise, move slowly to unfurl and make your way into a comfortable seat for a final meditation. Here's Eenor in his pajamas. Thanks for playing beautiful music. Awareness inward. Notice the steadiness that you've cultivated and expanded today. Notice the aliveness, the warmth that's present from the circulation energy of your practice. Imagine all of this steadiness and aliveness being channeled to your heart, to remembering ourselves as one great vibrating mass of consciousness, taking intentional time to turn in, to gestate new ways of being, new perspectives, to allow the seeds of awareness, of healing, and of new beginnings to germinate and to sprout within our heart. Breathing in, may I be at ease no matter what. Breathing out, may all beings be at ease no matter what. Breathing in unconditional love for yourself. Breathing out unconditional love for all beings. Breathing in brilliant immunity for your body, mind, the ability to process and digest experience and viruses of all sorts. Breathing back out, wishing brilliant immunity and ability to digest and process all experience and whatever pathogens might come to all beings. And breathing this in a few times, breathing in safety and immunity for ourselves, and really rippling that wish out there, strong bubbles of safety and immunity around our first line people, around all our healthcare providers, our nurses, doctors, all those in healthcare facilities. those in law offices, legal professions that cannot close, grocery stores and service providers that need to be present. May your immunity be brilliant. May your sense of service light your heart up. May you know that you're thanked and appreciated. Breathing in your own innate joy, knowing it's okay still to play, to have freedom within containment, and rippling back out. May all beings know their own innate joy. Freedom, the right and ability to play no matter what. Breathing in forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself for when you falter or snap or struggle. Forgiveness for others, rippling that back out. Forgiveness for those who are being judgy or brittle at this time. Forgiveness to all beings throughout our lives. May have been doing the best that they knew how with poor tools or conditioning. May we use this time for healing, for being with what is in our body minds, for being with what we might be afraid to see or feel. And know that no matter what we see or feel, no matter what arises in us, we have the ability to transmute, to compost, to move that through us, to become something else. Once we've felt it and seen it, may become our power, our wisdom, our grace, our compassion for another who might be suffering in the same way. Everything we do for ourselves benefits someone else. Breathing into that oneness, remembering your own wholeness. Breathing out into that interconnectedness, the oneness that we all are. May all beings remember their own innate wholeness, wellness, and their interconnectedness with all that is. May we all remember our connection to one another at this time and always. How everything we do or say matters. How everything that we think matters. Notice what's arising. Breathe into what happens with that in the body mind. And as you really observe and feel it, notice it will change. The colors, the movement, the sensations will change. And a new reality is given space to arise. I invite you to sit and practice this for the next 15 minutes, 5-hour, rest of your day. Or to lie down and take a long shavasana, final resting. But do give yourself a moment in silence to pause without my voice, without music, in some sort of transition, if not a whole nap, to really integrate your experience. Feel free to share your experience in the comments, write to me personally, or reach out to anyone here, your beloveds, your trusted ones. None of us are alone in this. And as we practice, things will move and change in our body minds, and it's really important to have yogic community. So please reach out, have yogic community. connect on my Lucid Yoga page or my Lucid Yoga online stuff. YouTube, Lucid Dawn, YouTube, Lucid Movement on Instagram, Lucid Yoga website and page.com. Yeah, website.com. Lots of stuff on blog there, lots more videos for free, me and Eenor at other times. So if today was too grounded and still for you, there's lots and lots of flow and playfulness to be had today, in honor of the equinox and in finding ourselves steady in equilibrium. I just really wanted to embrace the things we might not want to embrace, as well as all the other stuff. All of it, all of it, all of it. So, all of it. May we live in steadiness and ease with all of it. You are encouraged and welcomed and celebrated if you are able. You're celebrated no matter what. But extra points, gold stars, something, gold stars, yeah. If you're able to give back, as we offer these classes for free. This is what we usually do for our work. That's why we're so good at it. And so, if you're able to, Lucid Dawn at Venmo, Lucidawn, LucidAWN at Gmail, PayPal. Eenor also has some, but I am sharing everything with him. It'll be in the comments as well. So please look in the comments. If you could give back, everything matters, everything counts. And I see some of you here who have donated before, and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to give everything. And it's a scary time for lots of us who work for ourselves. So give where you can to spread out the wealth right now, as we all are sacrificing to support the health and the oneness. I love you. I honor you. Thank you for practicing. Please send any comments, questions, or requests, as we're going to continue to keep doing this. And enjoy your weekend. It's yeah, I was thinking tomorrow maybe noon, in case anybody has an in-home rager tonight. Online rager. I don't know, but I think the tech is sorted. No glitches today. Let us know if there was. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for the beautiful music. Yay. Blessings all. Mwah. Thank you for your friendship, your studentship, your community. Say things to each other. Reach out. Share. What's working for you right now? What are you grateful for that you've realized? What new thing has been like, oh, wow, it's kind of a blessing of this shitty situation? Or, what are you really suffering with? What do you need? What do you need to be heard around? Share it all. All of it. All of it. All of it. Love you. Bye for now.